Hey everyone, welcome to the Reddit branch. Today we have interesting stories from Reddit that I would love to hear your opinion about. So feel free to let me know what you think down in the comment section. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for content like this every day. First story. Am I the a-hole for not letting my friend stay at my house with her cats because my husband is allergic to them? Last week, she, 24 female, broke up with her boyfriend and he kicked her out of the apartment they shared because it's his. And now she's staying at her brother's house, but she doesn't want to stay there anymore because he wants her to babysit his 3 kids, even though the agreement was that she would only pay rent, the internet bill, and her food. So yesterday, she texted me, 24 female too, and asked if she can stay at my place until she finds an apartment. And I would have gladly said yes, but she has 2 cats and my husband, 43 male, is allergic to them. So I told her that she could stay but not her cats, for obvious reasons, and she told me that she has nowhere to leave them, and that she doesn't want to lose them, and that she would pay for my husband's medication for his allergy until she finds an apartment. I talked to my husband about it and he told me that he doesn't want any cats in the house. So I told my friend that she cannot stay here with her cats and she accepted it and will stay with her brother until she finds an apartment. But a friend that we have in common, she lives in another city so she cannot let my friend stay at her house, texted me saying that I was being a horrible friend, that my husband's allergy is not that serious and that if he can take medication to feel better then I could let her stay here with her cats. That she's been my friend since we were kids and that not helping her just because my husband doesn't want to makes me an a-hole. It's true that he can treat his allergy with medication, but he hates cats. And I cannot make decisions by myself, this is also his house. And he can also decide who can stay and who can't. Am I the a-hole for not letting her stay? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole, it's your house and your rules. It doesn't matter that your husband is allergic. You do not owe her a place to stay. As someone with a severe allergy to cats, if my boyfriend let a friend with cats stay, it would literally kill me. Your friend is being insensitive. You're not the a-hole, but your common friend is the a-hole. I too am allergic to cats. I learned this while cat sitting for a friend and came home covered in hives. If I visit a home with cats, I am stuffed up for hours after. I take no medication. Even after your friend leaves, were she to stay, the cat standard would stay in your home. It's probably not life-threatening to your husband, but uncomfortable. Finally, this is your husband's home too. If he says no, that should be the final word. You both have to agree to your friend staying. Your friend isn't in the streets. You're not the a-hole. Your house, your rules. I think morally you're fine too, since your husband is allergic. It sucks for her that she has to find somewhere else to stay, but your house simply isn't an option. Your other friend is being unfair to you. Your husband's comfort, wishes, and well-being in his own home trumps your homeless friend's feelings, especially when she has another place to stay. Now, for my personal opinion, the poster is not the a-hole, but that friend talk about entitlement. Cannot believe she's demanding the husband to be exposed to his allergen just because she wants to. Next story. Am I the a-hole for admitting to not putting as much effort into my mom as my stepmom? I, 30 male, am at a loss here and not sure what to do. When I was 3, my mom, 52 female, married a guy who did not like the fact I wasn't his, and did not want to constantly provide for someone else's kid. The week before the wedding, he gave her an ultimatum and because he had money, she chose him and opted to just have me on weekends when he wasn't around. My grandparents became my primary caretakers until my dad was able to move back to our country. When I was 6, my dad married my stepmom, 54 female, and I admittedly didn't make things easy for her for a while. I had some abandonment, trust, and mommy issues and took it out on her. My stepmom was a very loving and patient person, but made it clear that she wasn't going to take my nonsense. Eventually, we were able to find a type of relationships that worked for us. When I was about 15, my dad passed away and I was so lost and hurt. My grandparents offered to take me in, but my stepmom would not hear any of it and felt like I needed to stay close to my half-siblings, 8 female and 8 male. She got me therapy and I was able to work through even more of my issues. By the time I graduated high school, I was calling her mom and always grateful for the effort she put into me growing up. 5 years ago, my stepmom was diagnosed with cancer and I was devastated, even though the doctor said that they caught it at a good time. I still felt like I was going to lose her and took a lesser paying job so that I could move back home and have more free time to care for her. I basically became the man of the house and handled a lot of the finances, took my stepmom to most of her appointments, sat beside her in most of her meetings with the doctor, held her hand when she was suffering through the chemo, and did my best to give my siblings normal of a life as possible. It was a rough time, and she beat cancer, and I am not ashamed to say I wept tears of joy and made several posts in celebration. I even paid for us all to go on a family vacation. Now, my mom unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer a few months ago, and I was sorry to hear about it. I sent her a card and called her to say that I wish her the best and sent her some information that my stepmom found very helpful. Recently, my cousin called me, enraged at the lack of effort that I am showing my mom compared to what I gave my stepmom, and how she's heard that her own son does not seem to care whether she lives or dies. I honestly did not think about it very much when it came to my mom. I'm sad for her, but I do not feel like this would wreck my world, it said. Am I the a-hole for not caring very much about my mom getting cancer? People replied in the comments with, "You're not the a-hole. People love to use blood to excuse crappy behavior. You cannot hate them, they're your mom, or let it go. I mean, they're family. But never once are these arguments weighing in how we should hold family to a higher standard. You're not getting revenge here, you're returning the same energy." Nothing wrong with that. Ask yourself this. If this was a random friend who treated you this way, would you even consider their feelings? You're not the a-hole. Your mom made her choice when she chose her new husband over you. She's heard that her own son doesn't seem to care whether she lives or dies? Try being discarded by your own mother when you're a kid. Your stepmother actually took on the role of motherhood and was actually there for you, and you returned the favor. Motherhood is a privilege, not a right. You're not the a-hole. Your father's second wife is the only mother you have ever really had. She actively looked out for you and your mental well-being. You grew up in a loving family with siblings and continued to maintain those ties after your father died. Your biological mother chose to prioritize her new husband, not just when she remarried, but again when you lost your dad. At that point, when your biological mom would have been happy for you to go back with your grandparents, your stepmom fought for you. This is the life you were dealt. And an engaged mother who came into your life when you were still a young child, and a biological mom who never put you first. Your biological mom is now reaping the result of her years of her behavior. Now, for my personal opinion, the poster is not the a-hole. The biological mom did not choose him when he was young, and now he isn't choosing her. It makes sense. Next story. Am I the a-hole for not wanting to pay for my sister-in-law's hen party? Okay, so please hear me out. This situation hasn't actually occurred yet, and might not even happen, but I need to know if it does happen, if I would be considered the a-hole. I am a maid of honor for my best friend, who was supposed to be getting married in April. Because of COVID, it had to be rescheduled, but she still doesn't have a definite new date for her wedding. I am also a bridesmaid for my sister-in-law who is getting married in August. My sister-in-law has booked the hen party abroad for a weekend in July. I have paid her for the flights, but as we don't have to pay for the apartment until the day we get there, I haven't paid for that yet. My best friend is now thinking of rebooking her wedding for the same weekend as my sister-in-law's hen party. Obviously, if this happens, I would have to choose to miss the hen party for the wedding. I have already resigned myself to losing the money for the flights, £80, but I'm wondering whether I would be expected to still pay for my share of the apartment, £114, or if I could reasonably ask the other girls to cover it as it's a situation that's out of my control. There are 5 other girls going on this hen party, so if I didn't pay, they would need to pay £22.80 each to cover my share. As I said, this situation might not even happen as my friend still hasn't confirmed the date for her wedding, but I need to know. Would I be the a-hole if I asked them to cover me? I would be disappointed not to go to the hen party, but I cannot miss my best friend's wedding. I have already asked my best friend to please avoid the date of my sister-in-law's wedding when she rebooks her wedding, so I can't ask her to also avoid the date of this hen party. I really don't want to be 194 pounds out of pocket if I can help it, but depending on what people think, I will take the hit if it would be an a-hole move to ask others to cover me. People replied in the comments with, "Right now, no one is the a-hole. You would not be the a-hole to no pressure, just ask. But I think you will be the a-hole if you refuse to cover your part if they say that them covering it is not okay with them. They wouldn't be the a-holes for refusing either. You all booked the place based on the number of people who would be attending and splitting it. And they could have booked a smaller and cheaper place had they known earlier that you wouldn't be attending. Sometimes you have to cancel something you're already financially committed to. That's life. Like the non-refundable flight that you're just going to lose here. Your friends aren't responsible for paying for a bed that they wouldn't have needed had you not reserved. In order for you not to be an a-hole, you would have to tell them as soon as you know that the wedding is happening the same weekend as the hen party, so that they have enough time to have that fact and come up with the money. Now for my personal opinion, I don't see an a-hole in this story. I just hope the poster does not turn entitled if they refuse to cover her. They wouldn't be a-holes if they did. This concludes all the stories we have for this video. Thank you so much for watching and I hope you enjoyed it. Please feel free to share your opinions in the comment section down below. Until next time.